Hello, it's me. I have not vlogged in this house for ages. So what's been happening then, Imo, you may be asking? Well, had a bit of a surprise halfway through this summer. Shall we go and sit down? I'll tell you all about it. Right, this is what happened. Isabel went to college last term. She did a 12-week pilot scheme for home educators. It had never been done before. She went to a tertiary college, so she was in a special group. They were chaperoned, they had their special lanyards. The pilot scheme was funded by the college, and the Welsh Assembly Government had agreed, so I thought anyway, that should the children pass a certain criteria, they would fund for them to do the next part of the course, which was 2 years leading into college, basically getting them qualified to get into college. And as far as I know, they did meet the criteria. As far as I know, they did really, really well. The feedback I had from all the staff was that they were really impressed with their level in everything and their social skills. They described them as a very caring bunch, and all the staff were sort of like joke fighting over who was going to have the class next because they really liked having them. But lo and behold, halfway through the summer holidays, we all discovered that the funding had been turned down. So there's a lot of sets of parents in South Wales that have been frantically replanning their lives over the last 3 weeks, including me. I thought about school. I'd like to say that I thought long and hard about school, but I thought about it for about a fraction of a second and felt instinctively that that was not for us. I did offer to Izzy to try and make some appointment at a school and go and see one, but she was like, oh, no thanks. So we didn't do that. Thought about trying to join tutor groups where you pay and they go into the class, but there weren't any near us. They're very expensive. Decided not to do that either. So this is what we have decided to do. What I have decided to do. Apart from the very brief foray into college, I've been homeschooling for nearly 8 years, since Izzy was 6. It'll be 8 years in sort of mid-November sometime, so that's a long time. I must admit, the thought of having time to myself in the day again to start pursuing, paid work, for instance, it certainly had a big appeal. But when I thought about sending her to school, I don't know, I had a little think about the way our life is, and it has been, we've got a really diverse existence, really. We've both of us got so many friends and associates of different ages, different backgrounds, socio and economic and geographical backgrounds. It's really diverse, it's interesting. You're not in the same building every day with the same people. She's got a lovely little set of friends, hand-picked. When you're a home ed, you can pick who you want for your friends, and it's not like school where you're kind of stuck with people. And we've spent 8 years building this up, and I suppose it's a bit like being self-employed and having been self-employed for 10 years. You've worked and worked at it, and you've got everything just as you want, right in balance. You've got your routine, and didn't want to throw it all away, so I couldn't do it. So we are homeschooling through GCSEs. Yeah, so I have spent 3 weeks in a state of panic, self-doubt, all that usual stuff. Can I really do this? Doing a lot of research and setting up different correspondence courses, online courses, and phoning exam boards, making sure there are exam sittings that she can do, because I don't want her to study something for 2 years only to find that there's nowhere she can sit an exam. So I've been ringing colleges. Oh, the works. I can't even remember. I did so much researching, so much planning. And we have now planned, and we're a week and a half into term, and it's going really well. Izzy's working really well. She's really taking responsibility for her own learning in a way that she's never done before. She has actively chosen this route now, and I have. And it's what she wants to do, so yeah, it's going well. She's doing maths right now with video lessons that we've been subscribed to for years, which is Conquer Maths. I need to tidy that table before we start biology. I need to do some prepping in a minute for the next thing. This is what we've got going on today. After Izzy's done her maths and Portuguese, we're going to make models of cells. She's going to do an animal cell and I'm going to do a plant cell, and our preferred medium, pizza. We're doing an online course with Southwest Science School for biology and human biology. Izzy's choice. I will never be this organised again, so make the most of this. Look, I've got all the little subjects set up, so when she comes to revise, hopefully she'll be able to go directly to whichever section she wants. Hopefully, that's the plan. We've literally just started the main course this week because last week we were working through the pre-course work. This course is designed for home educators, and some home educators don't do structured work until a lot later on, and then they just do it pretty quickly and then catch up with everybody else, or even excel. Sometimes, I don't know, depends on the kid. But anyway, this specifically for home educators course doesn't suppose that the kids have done any formal science work before, so it explains everything as you go along. And the pre-course work was maths, but actually Izzy had done it all anyway, but we made a good start on it nonetheless. Doesn't hurt to refresh it. I redid her subject drawers, look. Da. Maths. We're going for the intermediate tier of maths with WJEC, which is the Welsh Joint Education Committee exam board. The maximum you can get is B for that, but you don't have to study quite as much as the one that you do to get an A. Izzy only needs a C for what she wants to do in college afterwards. I contacted Conquer Maths and asked them which ones Izzy needed to do for this specific exam and exam board, and they pretty much directed me to a list. So I actually hand wrote that, partly so I wanted to get my head around it. It helped me. This is not for her, this is for me. So she's done a few already. I've done some ticks to the ones that she's done. I've worked out how many weeks of term there will be for this academic year and the following one, up to about between 6 to 8 weeks before the exams start, because I want to allow for a huge revision chunk. I think they say 4 weeks, but I think more is better. So basically divided up the number of lessons there are in that time and worked out that she needs to do 4 a week if she was doing term time. However, being quite keen, we started in the summer with maths, and she's already got quite a few done. So we're a little bit ahead with that. But that's good because revision is needed at the end for sure. Again, largely for me this is, I've put all the topic headings in the maths folder. For English language, we're using this Catherine Mooney correspondence course. Now this one, it costs more than Southwest Science. Southwest Science was about £100-ish, a little bit less than that for the 2-year course. For the Southwest Science one, you get to join a Facebook group with all the other people doing the course, and the tutors are on it as well. So if you've got any questions, you can post it on there, and all the other people can be privy to that then. So if they had the same question, that's really helpful to them, or they might want to chip in and support each other. I'm doing that through my Facebook account. They don't mark the assignments for you, but with science, it kind of is or isn't, you know. Whereas with the humanities, there's a bit more of an art to marking it, you know. Opinions can be a bit subjective, and there's marking schemes. I do have friends who've home educated. They've just basically figured out the marking schemes. They've worked it out from looking up online, and they've got their heads around it and put their kids through GCSEs and done very well. So, but I'm a bit of a chicken, so I've gone for a bit of a more expensive one. So this was about just under £300 for this one. Apparently, you do this course in about 9 months, and then it's intended that they sit it the following June. I don't know if we're going to do that or not. If she's to do it as a 1-year course, she should be spending 3 weeks per chapter. We made a start last week on chapter 1. And here's our little bookmark. So we're almost through chapter 1 already, and we've been at it about a week and a half, so she might be ready to do a sitting next year. But with this one, they do submit their assignments to a tutor who marks them and gives feedback, so she'll know if she's ready to do it or not, theoretically. So that was Catherine Mooney for that one. For literature, we're using the same provider again. So she might sit it next June, or she might sit it the next year. We'll decide in January. History, now this is the biggie because I'm doing this on my own. Oh, that's not even the right book, it's disappeared. Izzy's under strict instructions to put all the right resources back in the right drawers when she finishes her work so I can go through it and mark it. And she hasn't. Oh, I'm going to be on the warpath now. Here are the history books. Oh, she's here.
Hello.
Oh, you're being on camera today, are you? Oh, it's the Imo and Izzy channel with actually Izzy in.
Here's the mess.
Oh, well done. Now you're putting it face down.
You don't have to look at.
Okay, we won't then if you don't want us to.
You have to look up. You don't.
Okay.
Don't sneak in my private information.
So what did you study today then?
We check using a calculator. It's much more complicated than it sounds. It's not like there's the times button and there's the multiplication button and they are the same thing. But it's complicated.
She's off. She's going to have a break now before we do biology.
Which is pizza!
Pizza! History. So for history, I did a lot of research. Isabel has already done an Edexcel history GCSE for fun. She was only 11 going on 12. Only got an E. She did the class for fun, ended up sitting the exam because she was predicted a D in the mocks, so we thought she might as well do it. And the cost of the exam was covered in that particular course that she did. So we didn't have anything to lose, but she had a go, and I think she did very well for 11 and just 12. But anyway, she's done Edexcel board now. Bored with that one, so she's switching to AQA. She's going to have another go. These two topics she's covered quite extensively already with the Edexcel curriculum, and we made a start on that last year before she ditched it all to go to college, so we can just sort of carry on where we left off with that one. And these are the other two topics that she's chosen. She wanted to go back in time a lot more. The Edexcel didn't have a lot of scope for that, so that's why we've switched boards. This is not an IGCSE. IGCSEs are usually favoured by home educators. And this is because IGCSEs are an exam. There's no coursework, you see. It's very, very difficult for an external candidate to do exams which involve coursework ordinarily, so it's much easier if they just go for the 100% exam option. But the AQA history is a 100% exam, and I know this because I rang up the exam board and triple checked before embarking on it. She did fancy the ancient history GCSE, which was OCR exam board. Sorry, this is a very home ed specific vlog, but OCR, they just didn't have any exam centres anywhere near us. I searched high and low, so she's not doing ancient history. On the AQA exam board, they have schemes of work all laid out with week 1, week 2, week 3. Let me show you. I have, of course, gone completely berserk and printed the whole lot off and put it in a folder. Oh, and it's not there because, of course, it's in the drawer. So we made a start. So literally, lesson 1, lesson 2. I worked out that we need to do 2 of these lessons per week in order to fit the whole lot in for all 4 topics, which she's doing comfortably. I had a little look at all the learning activities and things, and some of them are more or not so much suitable for us. But to be honest, there's plenty of work in the textbook itself. And after that, I was going through her groups that she wanted to stick with and the groups that she wanted to change. And I set up a few new ones which are in our local area and stuck to some ones that are a little bit of a commute away that she just loves so much. We had to ditch the Portuguese lessons. I'm very sad about that. It was just too much money. That lot cost the best part of 800 quid, to be honest, with the textbooks as well. I hadn't budgeted for that this year. But anyway, it's done now. It should hopefully be the most of the expense until the actual exams. They're gonna hurt the wallet, but never mind, it'll all be worth it. I am going to go and finish tidying the kitchen here and set up all the work surface nice and clean for our cell making cooking activity. So I've got a few articles out of the fridge for us to use in our project today. I went raiding the reduced to clear section in Tesco's last night for this very purpose. Got quite a selection. And I got some coffee brewing. That's for me. Home ed mum perks. So Izzy has shot through her little project here. This is her animal cell. Now I'm trying to remember what she said everything was. That's the nucleus. These are the ribosomes. Endoplasmic reticulum. Mitochondria. She did have a little bit of a moan because she said these were the sorts of things she wouldn't ordinarily like to eat on a pizza. But anyway, now she's gone upstairs. The last part of the biology for this week is drawing a diagram of a cell. I think it might have been plant and animal, I can't remember which. But anyway, she's got the instructions with her and she has to make sure she can do it quickly and simply as she would do in an exam. I've been taking a bit more time over my plant cell. I've had to make it into a rectangle, obviously. Yes, I'm quite finished. Okay, are you ready for this? That's my nucleus. That's my vacuole. These are the mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell. These are the chloroplasts. And this is the endoplasmic reticulum. And I'm going to put it in the oven now. Oh, I nearly forgot the ribosomes. There they are. Peas. Izzy's pizza's done already. I think it's got so few ingredients on it, it cooked in minutes. It's really quick. And here we are, out of the oven. There's mine. I slightly singed the endoplasmic reticulum, but never mind. It'll probably give it that extra delicious crunchiness. Here are Izzy's drawings that she's done, her diagrams. There's the plant one. And here's an animal one. I don't think there's supposed to be a vacuole in there, but we do occasionally have them in animal cells, but I think for the sake of GCSE you're supposed to pretend you don't know that.
Say hello!
No, I'm not saying hello to my own vlog, and that's too close.
Sorry, I'm making potato cakes and I'm going to eat them.
It's just gone 4 o'clock. Yes, Isabel's on the potato cakes, aren't you, love?
I love them!
Thank you so much for watching our little home ed update today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more of our adventures. Sometimes we vlog about home ed and other times we just vlog about whatever we're doing.
And also, if you like and subscribe, I'll let you smell my potato cakes.
You shouldn't make promises you can't keep.
I can keep it. There's this new fancy YouTube thing where you can smell.
No, there isn't.
And you can only get it if you subscribe to this channel. Hint, hint.